Jordan, how does your knee feel, and how close or far does it feel from how it normally feels?
Yeah, so it's definitely feeling a lot better. A lot better from when the injury happened in Brazil. So the whole thing is like we said before, just taking it day by day, trying to see how it feels every day, and coming here, keep doing the treatment, keep doing the rehab, and was out there today, and just trying to take it day by day and just keep feeling it out. But it's feeling better.
Jordan, what did you think when it happened? The pain obviously was pretty excruciating.
Yeah, it was. When it happened, it was very painful. It's definitely. I'll tell people it's the most pain I've been in on the field. So, just a lot of emotions, but definitely very painful. And didn't know in the moment what might have happened. What the injury actually was, how long I might be out. So it was definitely a scary moment, but it was very painful.
By the time you guys got out of there, were you pretty sure though that it wasn't your worst fears?
Got out of where? Out of Brazil, you're saying?
Yeah, before you got on the plane or.
Well, still, I mean, even when we got out of there, we hadn't done any tests, any scans, anything like that. So we really didn't know exactly what it was still. And I think the docs were trying not to make any judgment calls right there on what it might be. Still not knowing, having those X-rays and scans. So still wasn't 100% sure, but I was able to walk on it, put some pressure on it. So that was a good sign.
I know you're taking it.
Through your mind that this could be a season ending, that your season might be over?
Yeah, when it happened, it was one of those things that was very scary. Definitely, I was not knowing what happened. I've never had I've torn my meniscus in college, but never had an ACL or anything like that. So I never really didn't know what that felt like, didn't know what it might be. So a lot of thoughts went through my head for sure.
I know you're taking it day by day, but what do you need to check off in order to feel comfortable playing on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of boxes. Obviously, I think getting back in practice and doing that, and just feeling what it feels like to take those drops, being the live fire, things like that. But like I said, we're taking it day by day. The trainer's doing a great job, kind of monitoring me, seeing how I'm doing and how I'm reacting to everything, and they'll be the ones to clear me when the time comes.
Jordan, what did last week look like for you? I guess what was the process in trying to getting back on the field?
Yeah, last week, I mean, there's a lot of treatment and rehab exercises, trying to just get my knee back. And, didn't practice last week, just taking it day by day again. And, it was a lot of mental reps of going through the game plan and trying to put myself in the game and just being in that film room, trying to learn from those reps I was missing. So just trying to stay as fresh as I can and stay ready if there was the opportunity of me getting cleared.
Jordan, what was that flight like? The longest flight of most people's lives, and you're under the amount of uncertainty with your knee. What was that whole thing like? How uncomfortable was it? What was it like mentally going through that?
Yeah, it was a very long flight, and like I said, it wasn't very comfortable. But we had the good seats on the plane, the lay down one, so it actually made it better. But no, the trainers, they did a great job just trying to help me out in that situation, make it as painless as possible as that process was. But it was definitely a long travel back.
Jordan, how much of the recovery from an injury like this that's so scary is mental versus just physical?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of it that is mental and just trying to make sure your mind's right for when you do get back and do get back on the field. Just making sure that there's no I'd say fear of re-injuring or anything like that. Just make sure. But I do a good job just trying to make sure that I'm confident in the rehab and everything I'm doing in there, and the trainers, and listening to them, and just taking it day by day. But there's definitely a component that is very mental, to making sure your mind's ready to get back. And at the same time, it's tough not getting reps at practice, to a little bit of time off of just kind of get you out of that rhythm and that groove that you're in. So all those things are important, but the mental aspect is huge.
So what were you able to do today?
What was that?
Practice. What worked today? What were you able to do?
Yeah, I was limited at practice, so I'm just keeping it at that. But it was good to be back out there.
That's your first time with the brace, trying that out?
No, it's not my first time. No, we did it last week too.
You did.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
Does it take a little bit to get used to?
It's different. Yeah, for sure, it's different. But I wore a knee brace in college when I tore my meniscus, so nothing I'm not used to.
Matt has said you need to be able to protect yourself before he puts you out there. How do you know if you're able to do that without facing live bullets? And at this point, do you feel you're able to protect yourself?
Yeah, I think that just comes down to the workouts and the things I do on the side when I'm not in there practicing with the trainers, and trying to push myself to, whether it's reacting to pressure in the game or just being in the pocket, be able to take hits, like just reacting and pushing myself in those workouts when I'm by myself to make sure I'm confident when I do get in the game. But it's the same thing. The trainers are seeing everything I'm doing, and they're not going to put me out there unless they feel confident that I can protect myself. But at the same time, that's why it's good to get some practice reps in and get that feel of what it's like again. But at the same time, there's just nothing that's like when it's live bullets, you're in the game, and that rush is real. So there's a lot of things that I might not experience before I get back in the game.
The knee brace, meniscus injury at Nevada, was that the same day?
Say it again, sorry.
The meniscus injury at Nevada, was that the same day or the other one?
Right knee.
Does the knee brace affect your mobility at all? Are you able to just be as mobile without it?
You're not as fast, no, I would say that. Definitely, you got to – it's just different than not having anything, I'd say. It's a piece of metal on your knee, so it's definitely not as fast, but it's one of those things that you just got to adjust, It's going to help protect me and keep me stable in everything I do, so might change my game a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm not a receiver that has to run all these crazy routes downfield, things like that, where I can just stay in the pocket. Yeah, it definitely affects mobility a little bit.
We've seen you be a guy that can make plays with your legs, but since you came in, you've been a pocket first guy. You talked about wanting to be in pocket, operating in the pocket. How important is the mobility aspect of your game just to be able to be on the field and do you need that, or do you well without?
No, that's a huge part of my game. And I think it's very important to have while you're out there in the game. You'd love to be able to just sit in the pocket and be a pocket passer, but it's just not realistic. There's things that happen in the pocket where you got to get out of there, escape, kind of avoid pressure, and sometimes you got to move the sticks with your legs. So there's a lot of scenarios that come up, and that's a huge part of my game, I feel. So I think that's very important for me when I get back.
So Jordan, do you need to be able to do all this? Like before you got here, Rodgers tore his calf, and for a couple of games, he was a pure pocket passer. Even if you're not 100%, you're obviously a good player. Do you have to be able to do all the things you normally do in order to play, or do you just have to be able to protect yourself?
Yeah, you just have to be able to protect yourself. You don't have to be able to do all those things, and at the end of the day, like you said, you just got to be able to protect yourself. It's going to be different, But like I said before, that's a huge part of my game, and it's one of those things that it's kind of just the back of your head. You just kind of react when you're out there too. So there's not a lot of thought that once I get it back on the field that I'll just be, thinking to protect myself. I'll just be reacting and playing it out. Yeah.
Pretty proud of the way they played in your absence on Sunday, and do you think that may have bought you a little bit of time? If it's a 50-50 type of thing, all right, let's give it another week of rest.
Yeah, no, I'm very proud. I think offensively we played really well. The O-line dominated all game. The backs did a really good job, and that's everybody. It takes everybody. The tight ends, the receivers blocking, doing their job. But the run game was on point. I think Malik did a great job. I think definitely. You look at it, and I think what we did last week, I think gives everybody more confidence. Going forward, if I'm not cleared this week, so I love that. I love that we got the dub, and it's a big confidence boost going forward in this next week.
Malik was very complimentary of you and just how helpful you was during the process. I guess what was some of the advice you was giving him last week, and just to be able to see him play the way he did?
Yeah, no, I'm proud of him for just it's a tough situation. I've literally been there. Didn't come in 2 weeks ago like he did, where he's just trying to learn the system and everything. And there's so many moving parts for him, but been there and it's tough. And I told him everything that I wanted to hear when I was going in. Just be confident in yourself. Trust everything you see out there, and just go out there and make plays. Have fun, and it's an opportunity that he's waited for his whole life. We dream of this opportunity of being an NFL player. So just go out there and have fun. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, things like that. It's an imperfect game, but I'm proud of the way he went out there and played and made some really big time throws. A touchdown he had was a dimer. So went out there, protected the ball. I think that's the biggest thing he did. That was so good, but proud of him.
So Jordan, with maybe less mobility, are you throwing or running if your center throws up on the ball right before the snap?
Man, I was I don't know what I would do in that situation. I've never seen that before, but that's a testament to all the work Josh is putting in that game. He's grinding, he's making all these blocks, and he stayed in there and didn't flinch when he was thrown up. So it was a shout out to him. But I don't know what I would do in that situation.
If it were up to you, do you feel like you would play on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm gonna take the week and just take it day by day and see how it feels. But I'm not gonna make any decision on that now. You know, I'm hopeful that I'll get to that point where I can get in there. But we're just gonna take it day by day and see.